Hi everyone, Bandanner here. I hope you're all doing well and looking forward to the holidays. Today we are back in WARNO League Season 0.5 from SDL with Tman and DarkNeutron for the semi-finals of Division 1. This is the third game of a 5 set, so it's a best of 5 set in total. Tman, however, has won the first 2 games. If he wins this one, the set is over and he goes through to the finals, and Dark goes on to the runoff match, which decides the third place. If Dark wins today, then there will be a 4th game and potentially a 5th game if Dark can turn this around and go on to win the semi-final and go to the finals. Today they are on death row. DarkNeutron playing as the 5th Panzer and Tman playing as the 1st British Armoured. Let's have a look at Dark's deck first. Iltis Command. No surprise there, you get 3 of them, and more is important. Then we got 2 cards of the Mancat and 2 cards of the Unimog, plenty of supply as ever for a ranked deck. Infantry, we have Zisharungs, 2 cards of the Panzer Grenadier Marder in the Marder 1A2 Milan. We've got Pioneer Flams, we've got Milan 2s in the Fuchs Milan no less, so double Milans available there. Then we've got a Panzer Grenadier Carl Gustav in the Marder 1A2, and finally just some Panzer Grenadiers in a Unimog. Plenty of line infantry there and a little bit of close range stuff. Then in the artillery tab, the Panzer Morse, the Mars, and the 155mm towed howitzer. Tank tab, pretty standard here. We've got 2 cards of the Leo 2A3 command, 1 card of the Leo 1A5 command. Then we've got 3 cards of the Leo 2A3, a card of the Leo 2A4, which surprisingly is only trained. I'm very surprised he hasn't ranked that up to veteran. Bringing in such a heavy tank at trained, kind of risky. It's going to get panicked very quickly and then will be useless. Obviously not ideal if Tman brings all ranked up tanks. Then we've got the Leo 1A5 and the Leo 1A1A1 kind of just filling in positions in between. Again, those are not ranked up. In Recon, we've got the Jaeger auf Clara, the Lux and the Fanspeer. Then in anti-air, we've got the Gepard, we've got the Roland 2 and the Fliegerforst. And then in the helicopter tab, 2 cards of Apaches, the obvious choice here. They are the best helicopter in the deck. And then in the air tab, the F4F anti-air, the Tornado IDS MW1, great for clearing infantry out of buildings and forests. And then the Tornado IDS HE bomber for everything else. Let's move on to Tman's deck. If I can click the right one, there we go. Tman playing as the 1st British Armoured, coming with 2 Bedford supply truck cards, a Chinook supply and a Rover command. Then over in infantry we've got the Terriers, Paras, Carl Gustav, 4 deployable troops, 2 cards of rifles in Bedford trucks. Then we've got 3 sets of arm rifles in the Warrior Milan. I will note straight away these are not ranked up. I suspect partly because these are more for the mass spam of Warrior Milans more than they are for the arm rifles being line infantry necessarily. Obviously you don't get a huge amount of infantry in this deck anyway, but I suspect that's the reason these aren't ranked up. Then you get the Milan 2 in the final slot there. Artillery, we've got the mortar vehicle and the Abbott, nothing too exciting there. In the tank tab, we've got the Rover Milan Para, forward deployable Milan Jeep, can come in very handy. Then we've got the Chieftain Mark 11, 2 cards of. We've got 3 cards of the Challenger Mark II and 2 cards of the Chieftain Mark 11 command tank. Then over in Recon, we've got 2 cards of the Cheeky Foxes, which could be used for some shenanigans. We've got the Scouts Law 80 and the SAS Patrol. In anti-air, we've got the Javelin LML and 2 cards of the Tracked Rapier. Helicopters, we've got some Gazelle rockets and 2 cards of the Lynx Hellarm. And finally in the air tab, we have the Tornado F3AA, 2 cards of, a Jaguar HE2 bomber and a Tornado HE bomber. And that's the lot. Let's get into the game. Welcome to Game 3. Over on the left in blue we have Tman playing as the 1st Armoured, and over on the right in red we have DarkNeutron playing as the 5th Panzer Division. Let's have a look at what DarkNeutron has down first. Fanspeer pushing up the centre, going into this building here, no surprise there. Lux coming up to this side, defensive positioning, and a Lux pushing up this way, again, defensive positioning. We also have a Jaeger auf Clara pushing up in the centre to these buildings, and another Lux in the centre, which is pushing up to the middle here. I think that's just defensive positioning for any forward deployment troops from Tman's side. Over here we have Panzer Grenadiers in the Unimog heading up here, defensive in nature, going in those buildings. And we have a Leo 283 command pushing up into Charlie and then across into the center. In the middle we have a Fliegerforst and a Gepard heading straight into the middle for air defense. And then over here we have quite a chunk of units. We have 2 Fliegerforsts, a Panzer Grenadier Carl Gustav, an Armada 182, a Leo 101 times 2, and another Leo 283 command. Lots of expense gone on command tanks here. Let me just point that out. 300 points for each of those command tanks. They are not cheap. That means there's going to be a lot less units on the field unless Tman has done something similar. Let's spin around and have a look at that. Couple of forward deployed Terriers Paras at this side, going up defensive positions in Echo. We have an SAS patrol heading into the building in the center there, pretty standard. Terriers Para Carl Gustav heading into that building there, and an SAS patrol going into this building here. Fox heading up. Yeah, shenanigans. Look, going straight round the back to cover the back line, dodging what will be coming in down this road and sinking through the trees. Just to that. That's actually a really nice position because you're getting right on that junction, so you're getting anything that comes in down this road and anything that might be redirected as well. Very clever positioning. Over here at the back we've got Javelin LML, 2 arm rifles with Warrior Milans and a Chieftain Mark 11, all pushing up to this side fairly aggressively, might I add. Something's definitely deploying up there. Back here in the middle, we've got a Javelin LML, a Milan 2, a Chieftain Mark 11, and a Rover Command going into Delta and then the center. Pretty standard spread so far. Nothing like a heavy push down at the bottom here. The rifles going into the center by the looks of it. And then down here we have another Rover Command and a Javelin LML going in here to cap and defensively. Very standard spread, nothing out of the ordinary here for both players. Very typical spread. Let's get this show on the road. Early fighting, I guess, is going to be in the middle, possibly towards the top of Alpha. I don't suspect we're going to see much fighting down here at the moment. Death row can go a couple of different ways. Sometimes one player really pushes hard at the bottom in Echo and Charlie, from their side to the other, and, throws everything into it, and hopefully in the meantime has caught the opponent off guard and manages to reinforce the center, aka Alpha, anyway. Doesn't always work out like that. The other one is you tend to get into a bit of a stalemate on this one, where it's then about exchanging tanks and who has the heaviest tank push at the end. Obviously good use of artillery and bombers in that case. There's a few different ways it can go. Sometimes you do get a push at the top, but rare and obviously not quite as effective as being able to take a point at the bottom. A little bit of early skirmishing in the middle, but nothing too exciting yet, and a little bit of skirmishing at the top there. The Fox actually is engaging. It didn't go on its little trundle through the trees yet. And spin us around so we can see here. At the moment, a +5 to Tman, just because his commands were faster. Down to a +3, and will very quickly change to a +0. Well, I say very quickly. The Leo 283 is still trundling at the left-hand side of the screen. It's going to take a little while. Fox still in action, doing a bit of damage to the infantry in that building. Arm rifles turning up here in the Warrior Milans, and that tank arriving as well. Should cause a lot of issues for the Leo 101 though. Chieftain is obviously a stronger tank. Good fire support from the Warrior Milans. And earlier the Fox, which is now off on its little adventure through the forest. Here you have Clara not faring very well there. There's the neutralization of the points. Leo 283 pushing up this way. Looking for some kills. Obviously pretty effective engaging on the Warrior Milan there, but equally it's a very expensive piece of kit. Lux goes down to the Fox. Nice kill for the Fox there. Leo 203 takes a hit from the Chieftain. Chieftain, though, taking fire as well. Does smoke off and retreat, as does the Warrior Milan. Leo 203 thinks twice about pushing forward there. I expect we're going to see something else called in for this point. Yeah, another Chieftain Mark 11 on the way, and some supply coming behind that. Obviously, the fight is up here right now. Dark trying to push across the center as well. Lots of reinforcements coming in the center. Some Leo 2A3s coming in. Obviously, this will end up in a tank battle between two armored divisions. And exchanging is going to matter. So it's going to be a lot of engaging with your tanks, pulling them back, repairing them, engaging, pulling them back, repairing them. And whoever manages that the best will certainly be in a good position. Chieftain in the middle there, managing to engage on the Fern Spare, though has taken some damage from the... I think that was the Leo 2A3 command that's done that. Neither player losing very much at the moment. It's sort of quite a settled game. It's about that build-up. It's also about who gets the kills on Apache Rocket at the top left of the screen there. Just got the kill on the Fox. Sneaky Fox didn't quite pay off as much as I had expected it might. Chieftain Mark 11 not faring too well in that fight, simply outnumbered. Though a Leo 1A1A1 did go down. Which I suppose is half the battle, as long as you're not losing things and the enemy is. Constant stream of back and forth of blue dots on this road. There's the Challenger Mark II coming in now. More Warrior Milans with arm rifles. And then a Milan II at the back there. Obviously the Challenger will make a huge difference here. Especially with the Leo 2A3 arriving as well. Tman will need that additional firepower and frontal armor. Neither player really doing anything at the far side of the map on the other 2 points. I think that's going to be pretty quiet at the moment. Do notice a couple of tractor rapiers coming in now that the Apache has obviously been seen. 2 Leo 2A3s at this side of the map now, plus the Leo 2A3 command. Challenger Mark II has arrived, gets a nice hit on the Leo 2A3, and it's finished off by the Chieftains who are pushing up as well. That was some good micro work on those tanks. Here comes the Leo 2A3 command. Surely that gets focused down. Yes, it does. Switching to the other 2A3. One Chieftain goes down, but in fairness, that's pretty good odds at the moment. One dead Leo 2A3, one badly damaged 2A3, and a very badly damaged Leo 1A1A1 for the loss of one Chieftain. I think he'll take those exchanges. Artillery coming in from DarkNeutron's side. Arm rifles pushing up into the forest now, supported by those Warrior Milans. Another Challenger Mark II being called in. The pressure is on here. These tank exchanges really matter at the moment. Good smoking by both players. Good micro on these tanks. Tman slightly ahead, but only by like a tank. So there's another 203 on the way as well. Just at the left of the screen there. Those Warrior Milans putting in the work here as well. Leo 203 goes down. Good positioning from Tman. You'll notice he's got tanks and Warrior Milan around the side here, so you can try and get side shots on these tanks as they push up and get them in a crossfire. It's quite good positioning from Tman there. Don't often see people utilize the big forest at this edge like that. Apache coming in. Won't be long for this world. Javelin already hit it once. Javelin moving up to the next building. Tractor Rapier in as well. Down it goes. Leo 203 command. Smokes itself off again. DarkNeutron really pinned back here into this little corner of A. Maybe best just redirecting elsewhere. Maybe trying to push the other side of the map or something. Obviously, this isn't working here. And the travel time for Tman to get all the way to that side of the map is obviously a bit longer. Marder's coming in this way. Where are they going to? They are deploying early. Good. They have been spotted. But they should be able to put up a fight there. Arm rifles getting peppered by everything, though managing to fire back at the Marder. Arm rifles not getting out of that alive, I don't think. Absolutely melted. Now this is DarkNeutron's chance to clear this side of the map. Obviously, getting these Panzer Grenadiers right up on top of that Challenger could kill it. Oh! Oh no! Both Leo 203 commands just got destroyed in the center! I didn't even see what got the kills there. It must be the ATGM launchers. Oh, and there's the surrender immediately afterwards. Commiserations, DarkNeutron. Obviously, big difference in kills to losses for a 10-minute game. Congratulations to Tman. You go through to the finals. DarkNeutron, you go through to the third place match. That was a rough game. I need to have a look at what killed the Milan 2s. Yeah, Milan 2 got the Leo 203 at one side, and the Milan 2 got the Leo 203 at the other, I think. Oh, that's really unlucky to lose them both in quick succession like that. And obviously, you know, that's 600 points worth of equipment. If we have a look, obviously the exchanges were not going great throughout that game there, but certainly the end there, that was a devastating blow, to be fair. Well played though, guys. Very good tank micro from both of you at the top end of the map there. You were both going back and forth and back and forth. Obviously, Tman coming slightly out on top. But good games nonetheless. Really well played, guys. Very much looking forward to the finals again. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. Have a great holiday. I will have some more games going up from other semi-finals over the holiday period. But I will see you all in the new year.